Hey y'all, hi. It is I, Hannah Louise Poston, and I'm here to apply to my face the new shade of Salt New York Sneaky Balm N13, which is a lighter and more neutral, more olive shade than the former lightest shade N12. In the meat of the video, you will see me apply not only the Salt New York Sneaky Balm, but all of the rest of this makeup as well, the eyes, the lips, the cheeks. It's a light and easy but effective makeup look that I really love, and it was really fun to put it together on camera for you. Quick note before we start the video, I forgot to do comparison swatches of the shade until the very end. So if you've clicked on this video specifically because you want to see how the new shade of Salt New York Sneaky Balm compares to other very, very pale neutral concealers and other complexion products in my collection, and how it compares to the former lightest shade N12, you can skip to that part of the video by clicking the timestamp at the top of the description box down below. If this is your first time to my channel, then welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Hannah. I love makeup, but I don't love overspending. So I love to demonstrate makeup looks on camera. I like to review makeup. I'm doing both of those things today, but I try to do that while also encouraging thoughtful consumerism. And if you enjoy this, I hope that you will subscribe. Now, let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, I'm going to prime my skin with the Exa Jumpstart Smoothing Primer, which I kind of besmirched in my dedicated Exa review video, which may or may not have gone up on the channel as of yet. I mean, I didn't exactly besmirch it. I just said that it was kind of meh. I was like, it's not anything to write home about. And then I proceeded to use it basically like instead of my other primers, even though I had been testing it. I guess it makes sense that I was using it instead of my other primers when I was testing it in the lead up to that video. And then I was like, it's no great shakes. And then after I filmed the video, I found myself continuing to use it because it's like the very quality that I thought made me prefer other primers, which is that they tend to be a little bit beefier and have a little bit stronger of a presence on the skin, has kind of caused me to default to it. It's very skincare-y and it really just sort of disappears into the skin, doesn't really have a presence on the skin. But it does do a tiny bit of blurring. Presumably, you know, it makes your skin a more hospitable surface for makeup. It turns out that I like it more than I thought I did, which is why we should always return to the things that we reviewed and revise our reviews, which is something that I love doing and I haven't really done in a long time. I'm trying to remember to put that on the calendar. Anyway, I didn't think that it was bad, but I think that it's better than I thought that it was. I feel like this is a really good day to be testing a complexion product because I have some unevenness and redness. I mean, you can clearly see that I'll benefit from base today, but also the surface of my skin is very, very smooth for a couple of reasons. One is that I've been doing some dermaplaning. The brand Dermaflash, which makes like a vibrating at-home dermaplaner, sent me their dermaplaning thingy, and I did it last night for the first time, and it was kind of amazing. My skin is feeling extremely smooth, but I also think that my skin has really been reacting well to this weird skincare thing that came in PR, and I actually brought it down to show you because it's kind of a lot. This is basically the skincare. It's in a powder format, and underneath its little rubber cap, that's what it looks like. And you put it face down on top of this base, which has like a serum inside it. I don't want to waste it, and I can't put it on my skin right now because I already primed, but I do want to show you how it works. I'm going to take one for the team and show you how it works. I'll just put it on the back of my hands or something. You push it down and twist it. I hope you'll be able to see that. It's deposited the powder into this little dish, and then some of the hyaluronic acid serum has been pumped up from underneath. And then you mix them together, and it makes like a single-use serum, which is really lovely. And the one that they sent me has resveratrol in it. The back of my hands are going to be so nice today. It's my understanding that resveratrol is a very delicate ingredient, and the whole point of this system is that it doesn't have any time to go bad. This is my understanding. And a couple of days after I started using it, I noticed a difference in my skin. That's why I'm bringing it up because, you know, I test a lot of skincare, and a lot of times I'm like, well, it was probably helping because it helped protect and moisturize my skin because it has good ingredients in it, but I don't know. That's how I feel a lot of the time. This time, a couple days in, I woke up and I was like, whoa. It's probably wildly expensive. It's called, what is it called? Exponent. I think it's called Exponent, but oh my gosh, don't quote me on this. I'm literally the worst influencer ever. The point is that I woke up this morning feeling very chuffed to be doing like a base product demonstration video, and I don't usually feel that way because I usually struggle with dry patches, that kind of fine layer on the surface of the skin of dead skin that hasn't quite let go yet that tends to make foundation sit kind of funny. But this morning, between the Exponent business and the Dermaflash dermaplaning, I feel like literally my face just got born. So let's go in with the new shade of Salt New York Sneaky Balm. I'm so excited to play with it. I have used it a little bit, but it's been sort of rushing, not in the best lighting. I haven't really paid close attention and really assessed how it's working with my skin tone. I know that I really like this product, but the lightest shade previously just didn't work for me. So I'm going to do what I mean, usually I would use green color corrector just on any given day with anything, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what I would usually do with a product like this, which these days was just to go in and apply it with my hands. I'll just put it on half of my face so we can see. Well, here's how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like come through dermaplaning, come through skincare, come through Salt New York Sneaky Balm. As I hope you can see from the close-up footage, it's doing exactly what Sneaky Balm does. It looks like freshly moisturized skin. You know, it looks just the way that skin looks right when you finish doing a bunch of skincare. But for me, blotchiness and redness have been covered and toned down. I feel like it's one of the least detectable products on the skin that I've ever tried, if not the most undetectable product on the skin. Color-wise, it is much closer to my actual skin tone than most products, and you know, a lot closer to my skin tone than the former lightest shade of Sneaky Balm. A lot of the shades of Sneaky Balm have that really, truly neutral, desaturated undertone, which I appreciate so much, and this one definitely also has that. My neck is sort of uncomfortably pale. I mean, it's very much like the color of skin that never sees the sun. I do feel like maybe it would be a bit much to ask a product to exactly match this color for me, and that might not even be what I want. Although with this product, because it has that kind of lovely shearable quality, I feel like if it were lighter, like if it were just a shade or two lighter and much more like my actual neck, it might not make me look completely washed out and ghosty because I could put it on, shear it out, and it would have that brightening effect. I think I do kind of still have my fingers crossed that Kiki will continue to develop lighter shades of this, but for the time being, I feel like this is a shade that I can actually be excited to use and look forward to using. Before, whenever I used the Sneaky Balm, it was like I was always going to have to mix it, whereas this is close enough that I can use it without doing too much supporting work around it. But let me put it on the rest of my face so that I can really sit back and see how the entire situation looks and basically assess what I would do from there, what I will do from there to make it work perfectly for me. Okay, there we go. That's what it looks like all over the face. Just that. No spot concealing, no green color corrector, no powder. Like I said, I am always looking for that really brightening color that kind of helps me do the most to cancel out all of the redness and to counteract the impression that my face is a shade or two darker than my neck. So I would personally be able to make use of an even lighter shade, but it's very, very good. The thing that I've been doing with it, like I said, I haven't really sat down and closely examined the way that it looks like I'm able to do now with the lights, but I have had it for a couple days, and a couple of times I've used it on a day when I'm not wearing makeup, but I'm about to like hop on a Zoom call. Actually, there have been more than one calls. I've had more than one call over the past couple of days, and I've just needed like a little bit of something. I just feel like I can always trust this not to look like makeup and to improve the quality of my skin. You know what I mean? Like the way that my skin is looking. Kind of like a combination of skincare and makeup. Easy. And in those situations, I don't feel like I then need to kind of tinker and perfect and do anything to balance it out because it is close enough. Today, I am going to make my neck match my face a little bit better using my trusty Kevyn Aucoin Neo highlighter. It's just a really finely milled tri-color highlighting powder. Not like a bright highlighter, but kind of like a bringing light to the face type of powder. And I find that it works really well because of the kind of peachy, bronzy shade. It works really well for my neck. The thing that I really, really appreciate about the Sneaky Balm is that even though I would be able to make use of a lighter shade, this shade, it doesn't look too peach or too pink or too yellow. So many foundations and concealers, the lightest shades do look that way. They're oversaturated or they're leaning too hard into either a yellow or a peach undertone. Now that I've tinkered with the shade of my neck just a tiny, tiny bit with that powder, I'm really feeling myself. So I don't want too much product on it. If I were going to go to an event or something, I would probably spot conceal. You can still definitely see not only the texture, but the slight discoloration on the side of my cheek. And if I were going to do the most, I could do more to even out the redness. There's like a healing blemish there, a little spot there. It's a very my skin, but better, still real, but better kind of coverage. But I don't want to do that today. I don't want to layer more product on. I don't want to feel like I have that sort of foundation powder thing going on. That works really well to cover stubborn blemishes, but today I would rather just have real skin, but better. I am filming a video though. I'm going to film another video after this. So I'm going to powder a tiny bit with the Kosas powder just in the places where I want to take down the shine, not all over my face. I like having that glossy skincare look in a lot of places on my face. I just don't want it around my mouth right here, right in the middle of the forehead. And just a tiny bit of powder I find over that texture on the sides of the face helps take down the impression of texture. So let's finish the look. I kind of want to do the least, except that I really want to wear a super strong lip. My hair is freshly trimmed, freshly sculpted into a little bit more dynamic of a shag. Obviously, it's up right now, but as you can see, there are all these little pieces around the face, which is exactly what I wanted. And I love a light makeup look with a bold red lip with this kind of haircut. And I've been excited to wear that, and I just haven't really gotten a chance yet. So today is the day. I think that for my eyes, I'm just going to put a teeny tiny bit of matte shadow in the crease. My friend Kaki Reviews Beauty, I got to meet her in person for the first time this weekend, and she gave me a gift, this Nars palette, which is actually perfect for what I'm about to do. I think I'll use this very pale, dun colored matte on my lids and in my crease. It's the famous Nars Summer Unrated palette, famous because this is one of the things that I fake shopped for in a video about pretending to shop at Sephora, and then I duped the vibes of it. Really, really fun to now be able to actually play with it after having wanted it, thought about it, realized that I don't need it. Now, since Kaki gave it to me as a gift, it feels like a true pleasure, just a treat. I feel like that's already more eyeshadow than I meant to wear. So I'm going to go into this shade in the top left-hand corner, which I think is a little bit lighter, and kind of try to pull it back a little. I failed at pulling it back a little bit. I literally just wanted an undetectable wash of color on the lids. Okay, I feel like I kind of succeeded at pulling it back a little bit. I just took this shade, which is it's like a thick champagne. I pressed it all over both lids with my fingers, and then I buffed it out with a brush. And when I buffed it out with a brush, it kind of swept it off a little bit, off of the parts where the matte shadow was already there, but it really softened that color and blended the edges. And I feel like once I put mascara on, it's gonna look a little bit less makeup-y. But I think I should probably put, no, I'm gonna leave my lower lash line. I'm gonna leave everything else. I'm just gonna put on mascara. I'm risking it like a biscuit with the Kosas mascara, even though I know that it's really gooey and can be smeary. I really wanted high voltage lashes today. I feel like the conundrum I now face is what to put on my cheeks, because I was planning to leave the eyes pretty much completely bare and then use some more Salt New York products on my cheeks. But now if I'm gonna do a strong lip, I almost want nothing on the cheeks. But I feel like I need a little bit of something. You know what I'm going to use? Old Gum, my custom blush that I mixed with Salt New York products. My perfect blush shade, and it's perfect for this situation. Here's how the pan looks. If you missed the video in which I mixed this blush, here's a close-up of the pan for you. But I actually really recommend watching that video because it's delightful. All right, here we go. Perfect. I feel like I still sort of look like I'm not wearing blush, but my face just looks a little bit more contoured, a little bit less ghostly. And now it's time for the lip. I'm going to use the Esom lip pencil, and then I'm going to mix these two lip products. The Gucci lipstick is Janet Rust, and the Merit lipstick underneath is Tiger. Okay, there we go. A little overlining never hurt anyone. Is the look everything I dreamed and more? Yes, it kind of is. I'm so here for this. Very fresh face, real looking skin, and bold red lip. I could have used it staying a little lighter on the eyes, but here we are and I'm not mad at it. Final thoughts about the Sneaky Balm. It's almost like it's already starting to, well, I was going to say it's already starting to break through on my chin, but I don't think that's what's going on. I think what's going on is that the Kosas powder is not a super mattifying powder. It's like a setting powder that really does work with the finish of whatever you've put on your skin. If I use a lot of it, it gives me that kind of mochi skin look. In fact, I can kind of show you right now. There's like another layer of it just in that area, but you can see it's not super matte. It's like not super mattifying. And especially if you have something balmy underneath it, it helps to make it just a little bit softer and to make it not so dewy throughout the entire day. But it's not the kind of powder that's going to completely kill shine and set what you have on your face and turn it from something balmy and glossy into something matte. So it does kind of make sense given how lightly I powdered that it is still looking so incredibly dewy and so much like I just finished my skincare. Oh, I forgot to do shade comparisons. I'm so sorry. This was like one of the main things I was going to do in this video and I totally forgot. Okay, I'm finding this fascinating. So here on my pointer finger is the Kosas Revealer Concealer in the lightest shade. My middle finger right here has the current lightest shade of Salt New York Sneaky Balm. And this one right here on my ring finger, that is the former lightest shade, N12. And on my pinky right here is the Rose Ink Concealer in the lightest shade. I do think that the Rose Ink Concealer darkens a tiny bit when it dries, but only a little bit. And looking at all four of them here, the two shades of Sneaky Balm are still not as light and bright, don't have as much white in them basically as either of these two concealers. You can really see it from back here, right? And you can really see how the new shade of Sneaky Balm is more olive, which is part of why it's working so much better for my skin than N12 right here. That's the Kosas Revealer Concealer. That's the new shade of Sneaky Balm. That is N12, which is really looking much more peach compared to the other things. And underneath it is the Rose Ink Concealer. So again, top to bottom, we've got Revealer Concealer, Sneaky Balm N13, Sneaky Balm N12, and then the Rose Ink Concealer on the bottom. Yeah, undertone-wise, the new Sneaky Balm is way, way better for my very pale olive toned skin. But the Revealer Concealer in the lightest shade and the Rose Ink Concealer both look just a little bit lighter. Although as it's drying, the Rose Ink Concealer is kind of becoming an exact match for the new shade of Sneaky Balm. I think that they're really, really, really close to each other. So that is good to know. Yeah, the Rose Ink Concealer might even be oxidizing or darkening so much as it dries that it's actually getting to the point where it's a little bit darker. So yeah, really, really exciting. And as ever, I'm impressed by Kiki's determination to pay attention to what's working for people, what people want, and to continue innovating. I am definitely going to link my other Salt New York videos down below because I have a video in which I first apply the Sneaky Balm. Of course, at that time, the shade wasn't as good of a match for me, but that video is much more thorough about the qualities of the product. I also have an overhead shot video swatching every single product from Salt New York, so you can see all of the shades compared to each other. And I have a discount code with Salt New York. I'll put that in the description box too. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so happy with how the look came out. So maybe this will give you some ideas. Up with real looking skin and a bold red lip, especially when you just got your hair cut. Thank you, Kiki, for sending this new shade of Sneaky Balm for me to test. It has been such a pleasure. I hope that all of you who are out there watching without being subscribed to my channel will choose today as the day that you go ahead and officially subscribe. But no matter what you choose to do, I hope that you will remember to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.